Hello, my astrology family. This is Lada from astrological.com. Today I'm here with SIDEREAL, Babylonian astrologer Krasi, and we will be talking about February 2021, which is turning out astrologically, whether you're using tropical or SIDEREAL astrology, it's going to be the most pivotal month of the year, the most intense, stressful as well, but the one that will bring a lot of new beginnings because of the great stellium that is happening in the constellation of Capricorn and in the tropical sign of Aquarius. And Krasi will lead us through this month, and then we will go into the 12 signs for February. Hello, Krasi.
Hello, Wada. Hello, everyone. Yes, this is the most maybe important month of the year after the great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn, which took place on the 21st of December, but will influence us for the whole 2021 and for the next 20 years, most probably. This stellium, like you said, Wada, is very, very important because I think historically something similar happened like approximately 100 years ago, and it's difficult to see this very same stellium happening. Stellium, for those that are new, this is just conjunction of more than 3 planets in one sign. So the stellium is a fact. It will be all planets, Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, and even Pluto in the very first degree of Capricorn are meeting, and the only planets which will be visible at that moment, actually, planet is going to be Mars and the Moon. But what is very important and very ominous is that at the very moment of the stellium, nothing will be seen on the sky because all these planets will be invisible. Invisible planets mean that they will be very near the sun, and therefore they will be hidden in the rays of the sun, and we will not be able to see them. So you can imagine, we will look at the sky and we see no planets except Mars.
So the sun has gathered its chickens to consult them, like you say, but so they're weakened. When they're next to the sun, according to ancient astrology, those planets can't manifest. And you also said last time, when so many planets are hidden, there is hidden activities that we're not aware of that is happening because it's the constellation of Capricorn, very likely on a very high executive level. That is hidden things are being arranged and new things are being arranged for us. But you said the only visible planet has strength is Mars. What does this mean, Krasi?
Before looking at Mars, another historical thing is happening. Pluto will be in the first degree of Capricorn. What Pluto is doing in Capricorn? First of all, Capricorn, everyone knows classically, is about governments, it's about structure, it's about norms, it is the karma, it is about the stability, these very stable rules and norms. What is Pluto doing? He's entering and he's meeting there all these planets. Pluto actually, according to the master being Sadhunu, is the Lord of the universal truth. And that's it, and it's truth. And it would say, when he comes, imagine he's entering the house of Saturn. He is going to be the one that is ruling the netherworld, Pluto, the one that is about the deepest secrecy, the secret services, secret governments, is entering there, but he is on one hand ruling this all hidden secret activities, but then he is also ruling the truth, which would say that this assembly of gods, of divinities, will be related to truth, because there is no other way. There's just no other way. Because the sun, if we take it, the sun is, like you say, the sun is gathering his chickens. He's the ruler. He's God, and there is an assembly which, like, he initiated. So there are decisions to be made. That's why I believe that this is turning point for us. And what we saw immediately after Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is just nothing compared to what we will see after this stellium. And in the very Pluto, So in the very moment of the conjunction, which is happening very on the 3rd of February to 9th of February, what is happening also is that Mars will be in degrees which are not benevolent. These are the sexual parts of Aries. And Uranus is conjoined the star Hama, which is the horns. So you see, but who is Mars? Who is Uranus? This is the new. This is the unaccepted. This is the reaction of people to this maybe governmental. I see this as a planetary war, which will manifest on Earth. This will be the reaction of freedom, the new, because Uranus and Mars. Who else is representing change? They're the ruler of change, Uranus and Mars.
Both Uranus and Mars, they're the rebellious ones. They want change and they don't want restrictions, but they're going against a massive stellium. And the stellium is acting very hiddenly. And it's, I don't know.
Hiddenly, but Pluto is there, the ruler of the universal truth. You know, Master Ben Sedunu is saying that people who have problems with understanding and truth, and who are deviating from the truth, having troubles with Pluto, they will suffer tremendously, which would say that he was, they may call him the small icy, planet, but actually he is very, imagine he's so far and yet so influential. Imagine if he was near, my God.
Well, it's Pluto is like a Scorpio people. They see bullshit, they smell it, and they call it out on others. So that's what Pluto is doing now. Whatever sign it goes through, it calls out on the bullshit of that energy. And in Capricorn is all the structures and super corporations, hidden governments and stuff, whatever you call it,
So there will be a clash in a way, because he will be there. If he will act classically, and I believe he will, because he's just entering. Curiously, can you imagine he's in the very first degree, ruled by Venus, the very first, very benevolent degree of Capricorn, ruled by Venus, because this is the section of Capricorn, the term of Venus. He's entering. Only he is actually, well, he's not visible. They're all invisible, and they're all in Capricorn. What is also very interesting and very important, Capricorn becomes very important because the first lunar crescent for the month, the lunar month to come, February, is happening in Capricorn. Again, in Martial degrees, a section of Capricorn ruled by Mars. Imagine, Wada, we're talking about clashes, we're talking about planetary war, but eventually war, or at least people who will be reacting on streets, and it will be this will be the most challenging month, or at least the whole February I see as very, very challenging because of this very tense aspect. What is also happening in the moment of the exact stellium, because Mercury is retrograde, he enters Capricorn, and we have the stellium of all planets. The Moon and Mars make opposition, so it's a T square, very tense situation, and the Moon will be like because the Moon in the ancient astrology is God Nana, who is the wise one, who is like watching and judging, and Moon in Libra. So imagine like exactly judging. The Moon will be the judge, watching, later on making sure that the truth maybe, or the karma is being fulfilled. But in any case, this will be tense. And we will be looking, of course, at every ascendant, but people who have ascendant sidereal Capricorn, or this will be tropical Sagittarius.
That's me. Yeah. Aquarius,
tropical Aquarius, indeed will experience these energies. Maybe you know already, Wada. How do you feel this? Tense, right?
It's exciting, but also like foreboding that something big is about to happen, something scary, but it's something new as well. But it's kind of like my stomach is on a ball. and it's not about my personal life, it's collective. It's like I'm hearing something collectively, but also excited of the potential of this big stellium. The last time it happened was in 1962. And that was a very tense year. It was the the nuclear missile tension that almost happened, but it was the start of the flower revolution as well. So something happened. People started awakening then, but it was suppressed this time. I hope.
They try to suppress the awakening already since.
Yeah, doing it so powerfully, you know, and it's and they're giving great reason because people are afraid of illnesses, and it's working great, but it's also working the opposite way, where it's making people think, okay, there's something here, you know, okay, this thing is there, but there is more to it, you know, and I think a lot of people are realizing that. So
yes, and you may experience Saturn on ascendant or on descendant or on midheaven. Indeed can make people prone to melancholy, anxieties. Then what is the remedy against these dark energies is to welcome the sun. Spiritual work, welcoming the sun, connecting with the planets. We repeat this, I think, almost every time, but it's just good to remind it because it works. It works without exception. It is actually, this was the ritual of almost any ancient culture that I can think of, even the Hindu, the Bulgarian, any Thracians, Babylonians, they would welcome the sun, not without reason. These people knew much more than we do now.
Watch the rising of the sun. Yeah, it's that's I don't know, I've told the story, but my dad had like a psychic breakdown 20 years ago. He started hearing voices, and he was a very rational scientist, politician, and engineer. He started hearing voices, and he thought he was going crazy. And for 2-3 months, and in a dream or something, he was told, start watching the sunrise. And he starts every morning. He wakes up, watches the sunrise, and within a week he recovers. And then he became psychic. Now he sees future and stuff. But this is remedy for mental illness, for physical illness, for depression.
Exactly.
That is suppressing.
I know I repeat this almost every time, but it works. We shouldn't forget this. It really works. So maybe we should look now at the 12 ascendants, just to remind you. We're looking from...
can I ask you something? Saturn and Jupiter are becoming visible towards the end of February. So that's a good omen, isn't it?
Yes. Then we will hear the things will become more evident. This secrecy, which I think is taking place now when they're invisible, things will become more evident and will start working for us again, because Jupiter is the Lord of abundance. When he's invisible, we cannot count on really beneficial financial results, unfortunately.
Also, they might start rolling out programs that were created in hidden, new programs or new solutions. Some of them might be very good. Some of them might be from the dark lodges. You know, both will be happening. It's not only some dark government that's working and preparing. The forces of darkness and light are always equal. And of course, only on Earth they equal. Usually they prevail in the higher dimensions. But currently, with this great stellium, how I see it and feel it is that both the white, forces are preparing their plan for action for many years ahead, that the sun is programming into Saturn, Pluto, in Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, all the invisible planets. And the dark ones are also preparing. So they'll start rolling out both, both plans physically, materially. You'll start seeing it from the end of February.
Probably, yes. Also now, when we will be speaking about February, we should not forget that Venus is invisible. The whole month she'll be invisible in Capricorn. And Venus invisible, people should know, financially, this is also not supportive. The markets will not be, shiny for sure. And another important thing is to get married in February. It's also not appropriate when Venus is invisible.
Till April, don't get married, anyone, because Venus is invisible.
20-something April, she was becoming visible in Aries, in sidereal Aries, yeah. So yes, this is important to know. We cannot, the whole month, people may say that I'm not very generous when speaking about benevolent timings for new beginnings. Indeed, I'm very careful when giving such advices, because to make a good new beginning with good financial or other result, you really need Venus to be very powerful, beautiful, to give you the blessings. Also Jupiter, when both of them are gone, invisible, having other duties, because like they are in the netherworld, she's now a Reshkigal, she's very different, again romantic, but she's not happy with her love life. So to get married or to start financial activities or to start new businesses, the whole month of February is not advisable. And this is important to say in the beginning, because it is important to have beauty procedures. I would rather avoid, because Venus in Capricorn, imagine beauty and invisible. I mean, the last.
Unless you want something to disappear from your appearance, maybe.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yes.
But
yes.
I think towards the end of the month, when Jupiter becomes visible, Saturn, if you want to start businesses and things like that, and you don't want to wait all the way till April, this is when it's going to become very, very good for that.
Yes, but these are things important just to mention in the beginning. And now let's see, again, we are mentioning the sidereal ascendant, but also the tropical. Sidereal, just very simple, I will repeat, because I see often people asking. Sidereal is just astronomical, like when you look at the sky, the situation that you would look at the sky is sidereal. Tropical is projection on the ecliptic, which is a little bit different. That's why
based on the season, on the solstices and equinoxes, on the path of the sun. So it's like Capricorn starts every year on the same day. Sidereally moves based on the constellations, slowly, but it does. So one is real constellations, and they're 25 degrees apart. And tropical, that's used in Western world, it's more earthy, because it's based on seasons, it's based on solstices, equinoxes, well, the other one is spiritual, bigger, grander type of the sidereal one. All right, sorry. You carry on. I'm not going to.
No, it was needed. No, it was needed. It was a needed brief explanation, because I see it very often people ask, but we mentioned both of them. I'm starting with the sidereal, which is sidereal ascendant Aries, which will be your tropical ascendant Taurus. Or if you do not know your time of birth, then look at the moon sign. So we're talking about sidereal Aries and or Taurus tropical, Western tropical. So for you, it's just easy to say. Mars will be the whole month of February on your ascendant in a tense, not easy aspect with all these planets, the stellium that we spoke about with Wada on your 10th house, which would say that the whole month of February for you will bring you change in your perceptions, in your belief system, the way you see the reality. Also career-wise, very possibly you already had career changes that started in January 2020, but this will be furthered. So be very diplomatic, be very careful, be very spiritual. Welcome the sun, because Mars on your ascendant will give you energy. You will be driven towards change. Mars is your ruler, so this is great. But then on the very same moment, all these invisible planets on your 10th house would say you need to be diplomatic, you need to be cautious, just be careful. And indeed, new beginnings wouldn't be appropriate because of all that we just explained. Also, the career will be very important, the career changes, so be diplomatic, intuitive, especially there. This can influence your home, your relationship as well. There you also may need to be diplomatic and loving and patient, because from this angular position, actually, also your relationship will be influenced. So this is like the focus for people who have ascendant Aries. Avoid risky situations and don't allow any fears, any worries. These moments will pass, and you will be actually grateful with the spiritual growth that you would reach after these events release you. But this is for ascendant Aries. For ascendant Taurus, sidereal Taurus, or if you follow in the modern astrology, this will be ascendant Gemini. Now for you, your ascendant ruler becomes invisible, but she's in your ninth house, which is the house of your communication, commerce, studies, the house of your spiritual awakening, consciousness, knowledge, beautiful ninth house. All these planets and the stellium is taking place there. Of course, for you, this will impact your spiritual life, your awakening, your career as well, because Saturn is also ruling your 10th house. So the changes also for you will be on many levels, but mainly on your level of your consciousness. Also for you, of course, the month is not appropriate for new beginnings, but you will have great spiritual results, really great. Also, the month will be very beneficial to study, to learn. It will give you opportunities and depth. And career changes in your belief system, all this will take place. Now, I don't think that you're in any danger, but just be responsible for your health because of the square of Mars will be in this very moment on your 12th house. So just be responsible for your health. Watch out for hidden enemies. Just don't trust easily everyone. And now we're looking at sidereal ascendant Gemini or tropical ascendant Cancer. Now for you, in the month of February, just part of the month February, Mercury will be visible. This will be the first week after that Mercury is invisible, and he participates in this important stellium in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of secrecy, occultism, mysteries related to the finances of your partner. It's very mysterious indeed. This would say that your interest in the occult, in esoterics would increase, most probably desire to learn because of the position of the sun, and also because Saturn is ruling also your 9th house. So desires to learn, to also to enrich your spiritual knowledge, that's for sure. Financially, the month is for no one brilliant, but in the very moment of this stellium, you have Mars and Uranus on your 11th house. This can bring changes related to your financial plans, also to your social circle, the people which are your friends. There you may go through changes. Financial plans and your social circle, these areas of your life may also go through change. I don't think that you're in any danger, but still, because of the position of Saturn and Mars, be responsible for your health. If you feel melancholy, welcome the sun, as we said in the beginning. And now we're looking at ascendant Cancer, or this is sidereal or tropical Leo. Now for you, this stellium of planets is happening on your 7th house, and Mars and Uranus are meeting on your 10th house, which would say that this can further change related to your career, change related to your, also this can influence your relationship. There you may need to be very diplomatic, very intuitive, very loving, because this can be challenging for your private life, for your romantic life. Also a bit challenging maybe, or at least testing your relationships with people that you have agreements with, or people that you have contractual relations with. This can be influenced, but your career probably already goes through transformation or change, and in February this will be furthered. That's why be very careful what you say, be careful how you communicate with superiors. The month is not appropriate for new beginnings, but it is appropriate really to be very careful to maintain the status quo in very diplomatic and very intuitive way, so that you have better career after this difficult event end. But in any case, I do think that when you're informed and when you remain very diplomatic and very intuitive, then you will know what to do and how to approach any situation at work, and also with your partner at home and with partners in general. New beginnings, like I said, rather not. And then we look at sidereal ascendant Leo, or this will be tropical Virgo. Now for you, this stellium of planets is taking place in your 6th house. And in the same moment, Mars and Uranus will be on the 9th. Without any doubt, this will enforce, but actually in a positive way, new knowledge, opening your eyes, changing your perceptions very much, wishing to study something different or to educate yourself more. This will be very educational, actually. And then because of the stellium in the 6th house of all these planets, your routine will be changing, your work environment. This is already the case for you since January 2020. Even more after the summer of 2020, and now it will be further, really very strongly. Your routine will be changing. The way you organize your day will look different after this month of February, because it's a very important conjunction of planets, and you need to be responsible for your health, because after all, this is the 6th house. The 6th house stellium will give you opportunities for healing. So I see this as absolutely not a bad conjunction for you of planets, and the aspect of Mars will only further change related to your belief system, spirituality, the way you communicate, the way you share your knowledge with others. So in this sense, it will be good. But also for you, be careful not to start new beginnings, just to maintain good, healthy status quo. And now we're looking at sidereal ascendant Virgo, or if you're looking from the tropical Western perspective, this will be Libra. Now, Mercury for you will be in your 5th house. The big stellium is happening in the 5th house, and in the very moment of the huge conjunction of planets, Mars and Uranus will be on your 8th house. The 5th house is benevolent. This is the house of the good fortune, related to your incomes, related to your talents, desires, knowledge, creative knowledge. So all this will be triggered, tested. You would like to study more, you would like to know more. Maybe you have muse. This can unlock muse and desires for other activities, talents, activities which will bring pleasure to your soul, and other knowledge. And of course, Mars and Uranus from your 8th house will work on your finances. They can trigger different ways of making money, or they can enforce change in the way you make money. They can, because the 5th house is related to gains too. So this thing can result also in change of your finances and the way you make money, the way you want to generate money, your plans. All this can change, but I think that this will be positive. Even if you experience disharmony, keep in mind that the Saturn in nature is not very sweet, but the results of his aspects are always very good in the end. And now we're looking at ascendant sidereal Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be ascendant Scorpio. Now for you, the great stellium of planets is taking place on your 4th house. This is your home. This relates to your career too, partnerships as well, because this is aspecting the 7th house where Mars and Uranus are. So for sure, this will influence your career. Could be that if you're changing houses, or rearranging of your home, or rearranging of your home business, all this will be even furthered. Also, relationships with people may change. Like you can see, you can be a bit enforced to change partnerships, also business-wise. Also your private, your romantic life can be a bit tested. So with your partner, with your romantic partner, you may need to remain very diplomatic, very intuitive, very loving, very patient, so that you pass through this period really harmoniously, so that you don't endanger your romantic life. with knowledge, you can overcome just anything. That is why the knowledge is given. Knowledge is power. But yes, these are the areas of your life which may be a little bit afflicted by these important positions of the planets. And now we're looking at ascendant Scorpio, sidereal, or if you're looking from a modern tropical perspective, this would be then ascendant Sagittarius. Now for you, your ascendant ruler is in your 6th house with Uranus. And in the moment when Mars with Uranus are in your 6th house, you have a stellium of Pluto, your co-ruler of Scorpio, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, all in your 3rd house. Brilliant for your awakening, brilliant for your studies. Could be that you have increased interest in knowing studies. Could be that now you're awakening even more to the spirit world. Like your intuition probably will be very much activated after this. I believe you will experience such things. On the other hand, your routine may suffer a little bit. Could be that you have some conflicts in your workplace, in your routine work everyday place. So you may need to be patient and very careful with people so that you don't create enemies. On the other hand, you may have this desire to organize, to work, to organize the routine. Oh, this is very good, but just remember to remain very diplomatic in the way you communicate with people, very patient and very intuitive. But I see this stellium for you as very awakening and positive in terms of intuition, spiritual work, knowledge, change in even your occupation and interests. This is also very possible. New beginnings also for you, I wouldn't advise in the month of February. And now we're looking at ascendant Sagittarius sidereal, or if you're looking from modern tropical perspective, this would be ascendant Capricorn. Now for you, your ruler Jupiter is participating in this conjunction with many planets in the stellium, and this happens to be your 2nd house. Of course, the 2nd house is how we make money. It is also the house of money, but it is also the house of our family roots, family tree, if you want. And all this is like very much influenced right now because this conjunction is so important and so much emphasizing on your 2nd house. Like it is on how you perceive money, changes in the way you make money. Maybe this can activate desires to fix relationship or to communicate with your family members. In the very same moment, this is aspecting Mars and Uranus from your 5th house. So this can activate desires to know, to create. This is about the creative knowledge. Change financially, it's very possible because the 5th house is also the house of gains. And it is also about changing the way you organize your finances, the way you invest. All this will be influenced very, very possibly, but together with your spiritual awakening, because Saturn is also ruling your 3rd house, Jupiter is ruling the ascendant. So the way you perceive the reality, your belief system, your spiritual awakening is part of the whole process, and it will give you very good results in the end. And now let's look at ascendant Capricorn, the most important now ascendant, because this is sidereal Capricorn, or it will be tropical Aquarius. Why am I saying that this is so important? Of course, because the stellium of all these planets is happening in Capricorn. So like we said in the beginning with WADA, probably you already experienced these energies. You experience the change even more than the other ascendants. Probably you have it too much in some moments. Like these energies can be really very overwhelming. This is total change of your personality, spiritually, in relation to your plans. Oh, this is probably going through changes since not even now, but since January 2020, and now it will be even further. It went through different stages in the summer of 2020, then now after the great conjunction of Jupiter-Saturn, the change for you is going through different stages, but now it will be very important. It will be related also to your career plans, maybe home plans, because of Mars and Uranus in your 4th house. Because this stellium is very complex and we have many levels of energies, you may need to be careful with your romantic partner, because this can be too much and can impact your romantic life for sure. So I would say embrace the change, because you're the lucky one in this situation with all these planets on your ascendant. So obviously the change happening with you is very interesting. You will be, in the end, you will not recognize yourself in a good sense, because spiritually you will be on another level in terms of knowledge, in terms of seeing the truth. You will be another level. You will know so much that you will not recognize yourself. So embrace the change, be diplomatic at home with your partner, be careful and diplomatic also at work. Probably you're going through career changes too. And now we're looking at ascendant Aquarius, sidereal, or this will be tropical Pisces. Now your ascendant ruler, if you look at Saturn, all these planets, the stellium for you is happening on your 12th house. Obviously, this will be also because Uranus, who is ruling your ascendant too, with Mars, are in the 3rd house. Of course, for sure, this will impact your education, interest in knowledge, spiritual awakening, your communication activities. Probably you experience already the need to use other different technological means in order to convey a message, for example. Or you may be interested in another education to enrich your knowledge, but also spiritual consciousness and awakening. All this is activated very much now. And because your ascendant ruler is in the 12th house, and if you go through melancholy, which is possible, better really welcome the sun, do spiritual activities. Add also, because of the stellium is taking place in your 12th house, could be that you are interested in solitude, visiting temples, working on your spiritual awakening. And this is basically the direction for you. And the results that you will receive from these important planetary positions, in the end, it will be very good, because you will feel very, very knowing. Now we're looking at the last ascendant, Pisces, sidereal, or this will be tropical Aries. For you, this important stellium is happening on your 11th house. 11th house, the house of the good spirit. Actually, this is good. This will impact your money, changes career-wise, changes in the way you make money. Could be that this works on career restructuring or reorganization. Could be also that your social circle is going to change. People that you thought to be your friends probably will appear not to be. In any case, for you, this will impact you financially. Could create interest in resuming some relationship with family members. But in any case, it will influence your career, the way you make money, and the changes will be mainly in this direction, along with the changes, of course, of your spirituality, awakening consciousness. That's for sure, also because of the nature of the sign Pisces. And just to summarize, indeed, also for you, new beginnings are not appropriate, but mainly restructuring, which will happen anyway. So embrace the change, and month of March will be actually much easier, but February will be very interesting for sure. Yes, Vlada.
Thank you, Krasi.
Okay.
Well done. So much information in one video. Thank you. I am excited for this big conjunction. I think a lot of good things will come out of it. Of course, as always, any new beginnings bring good and bad things, but I believe there will be more balance after that. So let's look at things positively, but yeah,
Yes.
be cautious.
Yes.
listen to signals from the universe, because it's going to imprint you with the new trends for a long time ahead, maybe with inspirations, with ideas. Pay attention, because it's a rare opportunity. So thank you so much, Krasi. By the way, if you'd like a reading with Krasi, Krasi is offering a 2021 reading. It's 40 minutes with her. It's usually $200, but it's discounted for 15 days for $99 only. So if you'd like a personal reading, I'll put a link below for Krasi and you can contact her. And yeah, we'll see you again very soon, Krasi.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy, embrace the change.